So I recently got myself AirPods Pro 2 for a pretty good discount, and while I'm happy with these, I will say they're kinda overhyped, and the upgrade's actually not that massive compared to AirPods Pro 1, so that begs the question, should you still buy the OG pair, because these are now much cheaper. You can find these for around £150 or dollars, and so that's a decent discount compared to the retail price of AirPods Pro 2, so of course, should you still buy these in 2023? Well, short answer, yes, I highly recommend these. These are still terrific, and they offer 95% of the same experience AirPods Pro 2 offers. But now let's delve into my detailed thoughts. So let's begin with the design, and if you care about looking like you have the latest, there is good news because AirPods Pro 1 and AirPods Pro 2 are near identical for the most part. The speaker holes on the case and the lanyard loop, and a slightly bigger speaker grill on the original AirPods, but apart from that, dimensions wise, these are the same. In fact, I'm pretty sure you can put this case I have on AirPods Pro 2 on the original AirPods Pro, so yes, you're already getting a very similar experience with the older AirPods, and it makes sense that Apple did not drastically change the design because this design works. If it ain't broke, why fix it? Actually, I do have one issue Apple did not address, and that's the glossy finish. I hate glossy finishes. It scratches very easily, especially for a pair of earbuds you throw around in pockets. And so yes, the first thing I did with AirPods Pro 2 is get a case and protect this from scratches, but it would be nice if Apple offered a matte finish for the actual case. But otherwise, durability wise, this has been fantastic. I've accidentally put this in the wash 2 or 3 times and it's actually not been affected. No issues with the sound quality or charging the case, so that's pretty good. And by the way, for those wondering, the hinge is still very solid. So yes, durability wise, this is great. I just wish we had a matte case. So let's now talk about the fit of the actual earbuds. And this is where AirPods Pro 2 has a slight advantage, since remember, there is a new extra small tip. And yes, technically you could just buy AirPods Pro tips for the OG AirPods, but Apple does not recommend this. Apparently the mesh won't work that well with the OG AirPods, so I would not do that, and sticking to the original tips. They do work for most people. I've had no issues with the small tips, but I will say the extra small tips have been slightly better comfort-wise, but again, as I said, these tips still do the job. And remember, there is the fit test within the settings for AirPods, so you can see which one works for your ears. But yes, when I switched back from AirPods Pro 2 to AirPods Pro 1, and I went back to these tips, I really had no issues. It was slightly worse, but again, they do the job. So let's now talk about sound quality, and I know this is very subjective. It depends on the person, and of course, if they're an audiophile and care about the nitty-gritty details. Personally, I'm an average consumer when it comes to audio. I actually find the regular AirPods Apple used to give with iPhones perfectly fine for most of my use, and so AirPods were a big upgrade over that. But comparing the 2nd Gen Pros with the 1st Gen Pros audio-wise, I could not tell a difference. In fact, if I were to give a rating, I would say 9 out of 10 for the AirPods Pro 2 and 8.5 for the 1st Gen Pros, so it's not that far behind. I would say the bass is slightly better with these, but again, you're getting 95% of the same experience with the 1st Gen Pros. And yeah, this by far was the most overhyped aspect of the AirPods Pro 2 reviews. Everyone gassed up the audio quality, but in my experience, it was only slightly better. And if you're wondering about mic quality, here are AirPods Pro 2, let me know how this sounds. And here are the 1st Gen Pros. There should not be a big difference. However, when it comes to ANC and transparency mode, I will say that Apple has given us a much bigger upgrade with the 2nd Gen Pros. ANC is slightly better when outside, but more importantly, adaptive transparency is a game changer, because when I'm outside and there's the occasional ambulance or police siren in the background, AirPods Pro 2 automatically lowers this to a volume that does not ruin your hearing, but you can still hear it and be aware of it. And so yeah, I did definitely miss the lack of that with the 1st Gen Pros when switching back for this review. So again, if I were to rate these, I would say 9.5 for the 2nd Gens and an 8 for the 1st Gens. So yes, definitely a bigger difference in this department, but these are still pretty solid. And for those worried that Apple's butchered the ANC and transparency mode on this for planned obsolescence reasons, that's not the case. These are still very solid. But yes, definitely AirPods Pro 2 does bring some big upgrades when it comes to the transparency modes. Now let's move on to connectivity, because AirPods Pro 2 have the H2 chip, also Bluetooth 5.3 support, and so does that make a big difference? No, these are basically identical, the H1 chip in this, and Bluetooth 5 is still very good. I've not seen a massive difference. These connect to the same speeds. They also don't always connect, because I know Apple does suggest with their marketing that AirPods works like magic, but that's not always the case. 8 out of 10 times they do connect, but there is that odd time they don't connect, and I go into Bluetooth in Control Center to connect these. So yeah, do be aware of that. AirPods aren't perfect, but connectivity wise they are better than other earbuds, but they can occasionally mess up. But yes, don't expect AirPods Pro 2 to give you big upgrades because of the H2 chip. That's not the case. Even Siri wise, AirPods Pro 2 don't respond faster than AirPods Pro 1, they respond at exactly the same time, and so I don't think the H2 chip is really that big of an upgrade. Now let's talk about battery life, and of course it's not fair for me to compare these AirPods because I've been using this non-stop for 2 years, whereas AirPods Pro 2 are pretty fresh, and so yes, as expected, the battery life is better with these, and yes, even on paper these are better than the first gen Pros, but in my use, even after 2 years of use, I still find these to be perfectly fine. They do get me through the day. Now, of course, if I'm watching a long movie, for example, a 3-hour film, and I do pause it occasionally to check on other things, then yes, I will see the battery drain to around 10%. But for regular listening, this is still fine after 2 years of use. And so that should tell you guys, AirPods Pro 1 are still pretty decent when it comes to the endurance. And remember, as is the case with any AirPods, the earbuds themselves charge up pretty quick, and you do also get wireless charging on this. Some newer versions of AirPods Pro 1 also offer MagSafe charging, and the only thing you're missing is Apple Watch charging, but to be honest, I've never used that, so that's not a massive con for the first gen Pros. Now regarding the case, I do want to mention that yes, you do have an inbuilt speaker with AirPods Pro 2, which can be nice. For example, the most convenient thing for me is when I put these on a wireless charger that does not have MagSafe, these produce a sound when charging, whereas I can leave the original first gen pair on a wireless pad, and sometimes I would not know if they're actually charging or not because I did not get the coil alignment right. And yes, you do have a light on the front, but especially when I've turned off my lights and I'm about to go to sleep, an audible sound does make a difference. But as for the Find My use for the speakers, I actually have not lost these yet. Hopefully I don't, but yes, that feature has not come into use just yet, so the speakers really have only made a difference when it comes to charging the AirPods. But again, if I'm being honest, if I'm saving cash with the AirPods Pro 1, I can live without that. And really, apart from adaptive transparency mode that of course I've already mentioned, I would say the other thing I missed was the volume controls. They have been a game changer because when on the go, it's really convenient that you can just adjust the volume with the actual earbuds instead of using an Apple Watch or the iPhone. But yes, apart from those two features, I have not missed anything else with the AirPods Pro 2 experience, and if I was saving quite a bit of cash, I would just get AirPods Pro 1 because these still do offer 95% of the same core experience. Oh, forgot to mention, but these have an optical sensor and these have a skin sensor that of course we saw with AirPods 3, but to be honest, I have not noticed much of a difference with these detecting when they're in my ears or not. And so yes, once again, that's a big reason why I do recommend many get AirPods Pro 1 in 2023. And definitely if you're considering AirPods 3, just get these instead. They have way more features and can be found for less. And so yes guys, I still highly recommend these. They're still fantastic years after release. So yeah, those are my thoughts guys. Now if you want to hear my thoughts regarding AirPods Pro 2 and my experience with these, I will be making a video regarding that, so stay tuned. But in the meantime, tell me in the comments guys, would you still buy AirPods Pro 1? Anyways, thank you for watching guys, make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumours, and on that note, I'll see you guys in the next one.